Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to another round of the BSKIT AMS2 Formula 1 League. We are at Silverstone this time, having previously been at Watkins Glen last time out for what was a fairly traditional race in Canada the time before. Hopefully the walls here are a little bit further away and a little bit harder to hit. So, we are in for... let me check my notes. Does it tell me how many laps we've got? Not right now, but we'll not worry about that. So we're... I'll tell you what, while I bring up the standings, I'll have them on the side. Stand by. I can actually see what's going on. I do believe right now Donut is our leader of the championship. Who would have thought a Ferrari in the lead or something? That's never happened before. Donut, of course, teamed up with Findict, who's in the pits, not in the barrier. Don't worry about that. Just behind Donut is Triple L, who isn't here today, so that's Donut not going to lose a position to him. But right behind Triple L, literally 1 point behind him, 31 points rather than the 32 of Triple L or the 35 of Donut. We have Runelink with 31 points. Let's see, do we have Nienhuis here this week? Peter Nienhuis? No, I don't think we do. Another driver who appears to be at DNS today. Sorry, Leonard Nienhuis. If you remember, involved in a pretty big accident last time at Watkins Glen with a little bit of a glitch and ended up pretty much upside down. So that's our fourth place driver on 20 points. Behind them is Faffy on 17 points, tied actually with Findict, who's also on 17 points. Let's see. Cool. So Faffy just out of Findict, who I don't think is out on the track at the minute. No, he's in the pits. So behind the pair of them on 13 points, we've got Diego Braga, who's also in the pits right now. And a few other drivers obviously out today. We'll try and get some screen time for everyone, including the little Haas cars down here. We've had Carlo join us at the last few minutes as well. So we will shortly be going into qualifying, which is supposed to be wet, and then it'll be dry come the race again. So Carlo in his Alfa Romeo, trying to squeeze in a lap or two before the session advances. Currently at the top of our timing sheets in practice though is Donut, who's managed to be about almost a second clear of Runelink, who I'm told was doing race pace earlier. Not doing practice pace because it's not going to be a dry practice session, so there was no need to really, which is fair enough. So as you can see from the minimap and also the timing tower on the left hand side, about half the grid now is in the pits already. So part of that will be just they're happy with the car. Remember they've had, what is it, 30, 40 minutes practice, and we're only streaming the last few minutes of it. So some of them will be happy with how the cars are and don't want to go out anymore, and probably a little bit of last minute preps, pop the loo, grab a drink, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, get ready for the wet qualifying session that we have coming up in just a short little while now. Nick here, possibly on a lap to try and prove he is in fact faster than Donut. Don't know for sure though, just a hypothesis. For anyone who's more familiar with ACC than AMS2, they are using the other start-finish line in this, because this is the F1 cars, are using the F1 config, so the start-finish line being just there. So this is their turn 1, which in ACC you're halfway around the lap already. So just a little thing to bear in mind. Try not to get too confused about that one. So, coming up shortly, as I've mentioned, we've got a wet qualifying coming up. See how we're doing. I'm also told that the Williams team, which Kevin Cox normally drives for, not here this round, but I'm told the Williams team has announced its lineup as Kevin Cox and Piastri. So there you go. The Williams team in the virtual AMS2 BSKIT F1 League also staking a claim to the young Aussie. One of many, I'm sure. Right. So, here we go. Practice session over. This game have a wet race and then or not? I think it does. I think it'll. Oh, good question. I would have to ask a driver about that one to be sure. I'm pretty sure it does have a wet and a dry line, so I think a dry line will develop. I'm not sure about if the wet racing line is actually quicker. I get what you're asking. That's a good question, and I'm not sure. I don't know what the answer is. So our first few drivers heading out onto track now, trying to make use of all of the 15 minutes of qualifying available to them. Slightly weird visual effect on the Ferrari of Findick there, as it appeared to sort of vibrate side to side. Don't worry, the engine is balanced, I'm told. It's just a visual thing. And if you thought Popson was bad, that violent vibration would be probably pretty concussion inducing. And that kind of sounds like someone's had a crash in the background. Yep, somebody has. Amazingly, it wasn't Ryan. Don't know who it was, but I was fully expecting that to be Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. Sort of. Not really. Anyway, Finn's first flying lap starting now. Out lap completed. Obviously, that's the start-finish line for the F1 config that we have just passed, and there's a car's come out the pits right on his tail. Hopefully, not going to be a problem. So Sounded like he still managed to take that flat. I'll have to watch out for lack of grip down here. It's going to be a difficult corner. Appears to run wide, misses apex there, possibly misjudging the conditions. And a little bit of a slide need correcting too. Probably wants to be careful on those curbs. They are likely to be slippery, so I think this will be more of a banker lap, but if we can keep it valid and at least set a time, then that is a good start. Megats and Beckett's now a couple of cars ahead, an Alfa Romeo and a Haas hopefully aren't going to cause any problems. If they see him coming, maybe they'll move out of the way for him nicely. The Alfa there, yep, getting out of the way nicely. I did a little bit of tyre warming. Just the Haas ahead now, hopefully they're not causing any problems for Findit. We're coming into a hard braking zone for the chicane. He's going to be wanting that Haas out of the way shortly. If they are on an outlap especially, being careful not to touch the curves on the outside and avoiding them on the inside there as well. Nice and clean, and that is a provisional time on the board of a 1:36.6. I don't know for sure who's going to be through next. Possibly Donut getting a time on the board as well. Just a bank lap. Ruling going quicker. Carlo, I think, is now starting his first push lap. It was Carlo who came out of the pits just behind Finn on his lap, so we'll stick with Carlo here and see what he gets up to. Doing a better job of meeting the apex there than Findick did, but interesting wrong line there. Nope, you don't want to be off the gravel, that won't help. Nah, damn, commentator's curse. Okay, well if it is indeed the commentator's curse, then I'm about to curse Faffy. Possibly. Going in a straight line, difficult to see how you can get that wrong. Look nice through there, using plenty of track width, but does appear to be avoiding the curbs. So, as I suspected, they're possibly a bit slippery. Using those ones though, so perhaps there isn't a hard and fast rule, but that's definitely that's not the line. We'll spare him. Yeah, possibly track limits there being a little bit abused. I think that lad was gone before he had a spin, sadly. Still, we're only a third of the way into the session. There's still 10 minutes for drivers to set a time and for people to improve on their bank collapse, as we have seen Donut has indeed done, and promptly followed it up with a spin, as has Ryan. Great. Okay. Finn out on track here. Doesn't look to have come out of the pits, so possibly is on a push lap. Let's see if he does a slightly better job of this next corner this time around. Yeah, that's much better. A lot closer to the apex there. Little wide here still, I think. He's abandoning that lap and letting. That is the Alfa Romeo of I think it was Carlos Spicerina has gone through. And I saw, I think, an Alpine in the background as well. Can't remember who's driving the Alpine. Possibly Trash. So, I'd say just about the half of the grid now haven't set a time. The other half still to get a bank lap on the boards. Trash here coming towards the end of their lap. Is it going to be valid? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. So hopefully this now is the start of a valid lap. You can just keep it on the tarmac, get a banker lap in. These are going to be difficult conditions for everyone. So steady on the power there. Of course, in these low speed corners there's a lack of downforce to provide additional grip, so it's mostly going to be mechanical at these low speeds, but Corners like this, it's going to be more downforce will help you get through there quicker, but I'm sure these drivers are aware of that. So we've got times now by Swift and Carlo on the board. Back in the pits, possibly to get a new set of tyres. Change the setup ever so slightly. Currently, Donut 1.2 seconds behind pole sitter, provisional pole sitter Runelink, with Ryan 2.3 seconds off. That is good going. 4 seconds off for Carlo, Diego Braga 4.6. So the gaps are bigger than you might normally expect, but yeah, these wet conditions will do that to the field for you. It's more difficult, so you're going to get a bigger spread. That is not a surprise. So I'm not seeing any obvious off tracks from Trash here, so hopefully this is coming towards the end of a valid lap, and he's going to get a banker time in. One more corner to negotiate. And here we go. Yes, indeed, that is a valid lap time. Puts him in 7th. Just as Rudlink goes faster still and pushes Donut from 1.2 seconds to 2.4, pretty much. Donut looks like he's out on the lap. In fact, he might be coming towards the end of one, so we'll stick with him and see if he can respond to that. But that is a tall challenge, and that might have just been invalidated. No, it's not. So if Runelink hadn't improved and Donut still managed to set that lap, that would have put him on pole. But unfortunately, Runelink has gone faster. The gap this time a little narrower as Ryan also goes quicker. Now just under a second behind the pole sitter of Runelink. Carlo out as well on another lap coming towards the end of it. So just the last chicane and corner to navigate. Actually looks like he might be setting himself up for another push lap rather than this being their push lap. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like they're setting off on a lap now. We've got Fafi out on track yet to set a time. Not managed to get one on the board just yet. We'll keep an eye on that as he passes the... what was that? Was that a Ferrari? Looks like it might have been the Ferrari of Findick that he's passing, so... And Runelink goes quicker again by about a second. That's, yeah, just rubbing salt on the wounds. That's laying down a challenge. Come on then, if you think you can beat me to pole even in the wet. Can we give it a shot? Hopefully for Fafi that's still within track limits. He's still pushing on, so I think it must be. We're into the last third of the session now, just under 5 minutes to go. Excuse me. So only 2 of our drivers still left to set a time. Carlos, who's currently in the pits, and Fafi, who only has a couple of corners to go. Looks like he's managed to keep this one valid. So we will see. Across the line. Nope. Does appear to have invalidated it, in fact. So unfortunately, not going to improve on his time just yet. Ryan looking to start another push lap. Finn only a few seconds behind. Carlo starting one as well. Diego Braga most of the way round. Just trying to figure out which driver it is right near the end of their lap. Do apologise. I think that might be Runelink coming towards the end of yet another lap. Is he going to move the goalposts once more? I wouldn't be surprised. Nope, it's not an improvement this time around. That's me, sorry, I do apologise. So the order remains Runelink, Donut, Ryan, but the times have changed. Finn about 2 seconds adrift of Ryan at the moment, and nobody within a second of the current pole time, which sure to be frustrating to them. So we've got Ryan coming up now towards the end of his lap. This does look like a push lap to me from the car's body language. So if he can find about a little over 3/10, he can display his donut. But it's going to be a big ask to jump. And Ryan has in fact set the fastest lap. That I did not expect. Nor did I expect a violently vibrating donut. So Ryan, with 2.5 minutes left on the clock, has gone 3/10 quicker than Runelink, who also appears to be on a push lap right now. So the track possibly drying out a little bit. It is only raining lightly. It might not look like it, but I'm told this is light rain. So I believe the track might be drying out as the session has gone on. That might be why we're seeing these better times, or the drivers are getting more comfortable. Either way, Runelink coming towards the end of his lap now. And it's, no, it's not counted that. It's not an improvement. Donut crossing the line as well. So, current top three all out on track at the moment. Let's see what we have. So Ryan looks to be warming his tyres up. Runelink looks like it's a bit more of a push, so let's see if we can cross a sector time and maybe see what the split time is. So we're going to stick with Runelink here. Very high speed section of the track. A lot of downforce helping you squish those tyres into the road. So even in these wet conditions, there's plenty of grip for these cars. Especially at the high speed stuff. Looks nice and clean through Maggots and Beckett's. Good exit using most of the track width on the exit there. Getting himself lined up for the final high speed corner on the lap. Looks within track limits there. We've got one of the Astons getting out of the way, and I think there was an Alpine just ahead as well. We'll be hoping really gets out of his way. I don't want him interfering with your lap. And Runelink has gone faster by 1.9 seconds, displacing Ryan from pole. Donut crossing the line as well, moving Ryan down into third. Only 1.3 seconds behind Runelink, so Ryan now with Runelink was just up ahead and Donut right on his tail is really in a kind of a tough spot here. About 30 seconds ago he was on pole and now he's third, 1.6 seconds adrift, so we will see if he can improve. Donut not improving, back in the pits. Got Faffy still out on track, hoping to improve. If you remember, Faffy was down in 10th when he hadn't set a valid time, and he's currently up in 4th. Only 4/10 clear of Finn, so he'll be keen to try and build a bit more of a buffer if he possibly can. But we'll stick with Ryan here through the very high-speed Maggots and Beckett's. That looks committed. And again, much like Runelink, not using all the track width on the exit, but I guess he doesn't need to, and he'd rather set himself up for this fast corner coming up now. Chokes it in, plenty of speed. Still within track limits here, that looks good. No cars ahead to disturb him. Low speed chicane to deal with. And this will probably fly out now all the way to the line. And can he improve? Yes, he can by about a second. Jumps him ahead of Donut, who can't respond. Runelink not going faster, and that is quality over with. So, there is your starting order. Runelink, Ryan, Donut, with Faffy, Finn, Carlo, Swift, Diego Braga, Reload, Trash, and Carlos as well. So you can see quite a big spread there from first on the grid to last, about 12 seconds, 13 seconds. But that is during the wet, and this race is going to be during the dry. 38 lap slope, sorry, 36 lap slope for 2. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. If you've got any predictions, put them in the chat and we'll see if you're right or wrong, hey? I'm going to take the obvious guess because last time I didn't and I was wrong. But I think it's going to be a difficult one to count Runelink out of. I think this is definitely Runelink's race to lose rather than anyone else's to win. But do expect some challenge coming from Ryan and Donut as probably the principal sources of opposition for this race. But you never know. We could see someone else like Fafi or Finn. Anyone up and down the grid might have better dry pace and be able to challenge them, and the setups can be different. So the race setups might be better, and as we've seen previous rounds, consistency does play a big part in the races here. One small mistake, it can be really hard to recover from, but we will cross our fingers for no first lap shenanigans this time around. Races were blighted by these previous few rounds, so let's hope not to have that this time around. Bit more runoff and a bit of a wider track this time around, so should be a little bit easier to avoid hitting a wall and losing your rear wing again. So we've got a prediction coming through for Trash to win this one, and one for Runelink. So let's see. We're waiting for the lights now. Good start from well, it looks like pretty much everyone having a good start there. Don't see any mess. Maybe someone off track in the background. A dive up the inside from Donut. That might have been contact. As unfortunately, round goes the pole sitter, Runelink right to the very back. We've got an Alfa Romeo off track a little bit further back as well. And we've also got, Reload having a little spin. So Runelink already back up to 7th place, but a bit of a gap to the cars ahead. Hopefully not going to be too many problems, but we've still got a battle on for the lead here. Ferrari, Aston Ferrari, Donut, Ryan and Findict. So this is, early doors, maximum attack, elbows are out. A little bit further down, we have got Carlo and Swift battling for position as they do in fact switch positions there, and they're trying to go too wide through Maggots and Beckett's. And it doesn't look like any contact. Diego Braga and Runelink just behind as well. That looks like Runelink getting a nose ahead. Wow, this is all action at the start. Runelink past Diego Braga, still hunting down Swift 81. And up at the front, we've got a bit of a gap starting to develop between Ryan and Donut, but he's well within the slipstream here. Runelink now right on the back of Swift 81's Haas, as looking to the outside. Not really got a opening there, but he does here, and he's ahead. That is a brilliant move. Set it up on the inside and round the outside of the next corner, so right into the toe of Carlo now. Surely not going to try and go around the outside here. Right on his tail though. So expecting some aggression to clear Carlo as quickly as possible and start chasing down those leaders. And that doesn't even look like Carlo's really tried to hold him up, and he's cleanly through. Lovely stuff. So, a little further ahead, Ryan starting to drop off the back of Donut a little bit. But Findict dropping off the back of Ryan as well. Runelink only 7 seconds behind the leader as a rear wing has come off. That looked like, unfortunately, Carlos Spicy winner having a bit of an accident, lost his rear wing. He's going to need that. We've got Reload, his Haas is in the pits, and it looks like Carlos is a lap down as well. So 3 cars have had their races affected already with damage, which is very unfortunate. But Diego Braga here now. Things calming down just a touch. Got his sights set on Fafi ahead. Trying to close that gap down if he possibly can. So that was a chaotic start with our pole sitter being turned in within the first few corners. A bit of an off for some drivers. Carlo making a mistake, probably trying to crawl his way into the pits just now. Yep, indeed, there he is. So that's probably going to be Carlo a lap down as well. We've got 4 cars a lap down already, one of them being Swift, so we've got both of the Haas cars a lap down. Reload still not moved, so that looks like a lot of damage for Reload. Got Carlos still out on track, and Carlo coming in to get his rear wing changed over. Was that Donut having a spin? It was indeed. Donut just missed it. Has had a spin in the background. Still appears to have all of his aero appendages attached, so I'm hoping it's not a lot of damage, but that's not sounding like it's going quickly. And he's getting out of the way there of Faffy. No, he's heading to the pit lane, so something broken there on that car, unfortunately. So passes the baton of trying to chase a Ferrari win over to his teammate Fendit. He's currently 2.3 seconds behind Ryan, with the Haas of Swift just up ahead the road between Finn and Ryan. Hopefully not going to cause too many problems and he can clear him quickly enough. But Rulink already within about 2 seconds, right on the back of Findix. So Finn's cleared the Haas. Rulink will do as well before this next corner. Rulink just 1.3 seconds back. 2.3 second gap to Ryan ahead. It's a lot of work to do. Donut's still in the pits. So yeah, the event summary of the start was eventful. That's what I was trying to say. See, gap's stabilising a little bit now. Donut's still in the pits, as is Carlo. Reload out track, but not on it. And Swift out as well. Swift just moving ahead of Donut while he's in the pits. Carlos still going, improving, good. Unfortunately, Trash has lost their rear wing as well. And that's a follow-on accident from missing a rear wing happening there. Turns out you need him. So we've lost a driver, and I think that was... Who did we just lose? Not Carl, not Donna, not Swift. Carlos? Let's see what... Finn, oh dear, we might have lost Runelink, I think. Maybe a connection issue of some sort, but it does appear Runelink not there anymore. That's a massive, massive shame for Runelink. If indeed that was a connection issue, that's going to be a bummer. So perhaps the commentator's curse struck again when I said obvious win for Runelink. Didn't even hold the lead for the first lap, and now it doesn't look like he's even got the option, sadly. I can only apologise. Right, well that is a shame. So that leaves Finn and Ryan pretty much to battle it out. Donut has got back on track, which is good to see. Lap down, of course. But he does have Swift 12 seconds ahead, so that's something to charge down for. Who's that? Aston. I'm not sure who that Aston is. It's not Ryan, so I think that's Faffy. Yeah. Donut there and lapping himself from Faffy is Crash missing a rear wing. Has made it into the pit lane. And I believe that's Crash retired. Yep, I think we have lost Crash, so that's 2 cars out. Unfortunate. But yeah, there's a 2-minute slower lap than usual just to get back to the pits. And probably decided they were going to be parked there for too long and wasn't worth continuing. Fair enough, shame, but fair enough. So, at the end of 7 laps completed, Ryan starting to build up a pretty convincing lead here. About 3 seconds clear. Shame we've lost. We appear to have lost another car. Stand by. I can't figure out exactly who the third driver we've lost is. Still got Donut, Finn, Pappy, Diego. You know, I'm not sure who we've lost. I do apologise, but shame to hear, Trash. You turns to 5th on mediums at the start. Very good. That is a good move up from your starting position. Unfortunately, losing the rear wing really not going to be helping your downforce levels. And we've lost another driver as well. That being Reload, I think. So we're down to 7 drivers, having started with 11. That's 4 of them gone. Very unfortunate. Swift, or Spenek, 81. Still on track. Donut trying to close that gap down. Got it to within 4 seconds. Another one trying to close the gap down is Diego Braga. To Fafi ahead. Gap of around 3.2 seconds. And we've lost another driver. I think this time Swift. We have lost. Got overtaken by Donut and then left, so that's unfortunate. Donut was briefly not last, but is in fact last again with 26 seconds to Carlos ahead in the AlphaTauri. And I've noticed as well, Findicked within a second of Ryan, so I'm guessing Ryan's made a mistake of some sort. Let's see if we can get a split time and just see if that is indeed the case. Yep, Ryan down and Finn not down as much. So I think there's about 3.5, 4 seconds quicker lap from Finn. So definitely think there was a mistake from Ryan there to put him back within range. And that is very unfortunate. We've just come towards 9 laps completed now onto the 10th one. Finn back within the slipstream of Ryan and a battle for a lead underway. Less than half a second between them now. So Finn be hoping for a good exit. Try and make use of a tow somewhere. Yeah, not going to be helping him here all through Maggots and Beckett, so I'm expecting to see that gap go up. But if he can keep it within about a second, he will benefit from slipstream down the straights. And we see he's just outside that 1 second window, so he's going to rely on a good exit or perhaps a mistake again from Ryan. But Ryan looks to have got the better exit, and is it increasing that gap again for now? Just see that gap yo-yoing back and forth as the advantage shifts from Finn to Ryan, and vice versa, of course. But Finn really needs to get himself back within a second, benefit from the tow, but in doing so catches dirty air, it just slows him down through the corners, so it's a difficult situation to be in. Possibly some strategic pit stop usage needed to help out here, but Ryan not pulling away massively, just a 10th here and a 10th there. Tyres possibly starting to go off a little bit now as neither driver able to match their previous times. Personal best, currently fastest lap going to Donut with a 1:27.9. But that only shows me their last lap, so I don't know if anyone has done a faster lap than that yet. Couldn't tell you. But yeah, Donut about 2 seconds quicker than Carlos that previous lap. And that gap's starting to come down. You can actually see Donut there in the background. There he is. Your boy Donut. And his teammate is actually in the next car on the road, but a lap ahead. Donut chasing Carlos. He's coming into, I think this is the loop now. So as Carlos is exiting the loop, Donut's just crossing the start-finish line. So that gap between Finn and Ryan growing once more. Finn possibly doesn't have the outright pace to keep up with Ryan. But we have seen from previous races, consistency can be an issue for Ryan at times. So if Ryan makes another mistake like he has already, that could be Finn's opportunity to pounce, steal the position. And once he's ahead, then he can defend and make Ryan's life a lot harder. So Ryan will be hoping to avoid any more mistakes and build an advantage. Unfortunately for Ryan, the car behind Findict is about 26 seconds back, so not really an immediate threat. And Ryan does in fact make a mistake there, but might get away with it. Slightly poor run, dirty tyres, but still pointing in the right direction. That ought to give you an idea of how much he's pushing right now. So a lot of pressure being piled on by Finn here. And Donut, his teammate, got the best view in the house to watch this battle. So despite the mistake, Finn not able to get within that second and benefit from the tow from Ryan, and that gap's starting to go back out. We're a third of the way through the race now. It's gone by quickly. Tono there getting a little bit sideways and being allowed through by his teammate. So the Ferraris haven't switched positions overall, but they have on track. Donut now ahead on track, hopefully. Well, I think the plan will be for Donut to try and catch Ryan, and without doing anything unsportsmanlike, such as defending, hopefully he'll be able to disrupt Ryan a little bit for Finn's advantage. Unfortunate to hear you're having issues, Swift. You'll have to bring that up with the stewards. I'm unable to do anything. I do apologise. Donut there making a bit of a mistake and perhaps inconveniencing his teammate rather than Ryan, which would be the opposite of the desired effect. So Ryan now building a nice little gap to Finn, around 3 seconds. Donut rather inconveniently placing himself right between the two front runners here. Finn, of course, his teammate though, so I suspect there's a little bit of team orders going on there. And still managing to squeeze out a few more tenths here and there than Finn dicked. So expanding that gap ever so slightly, but I suspect very shortly he's going to be getting harassed by Donut. That mistake from Donut costing him a bit of time. Remember, Donut is not just here for the benefit of Finn to try and inconvenience Ryan, but he is in fact trying to catch the car ahead, which is Ant Carlos, about 19 seconds up the road. Donut now firmly within the slipstream of Ryan, so I suspect we'll see an unlapping attempt very shortly. It would be brilliant if this was a battle for the lead, but unfortunately it wasn't, and well, that front wing's not going to be doing a lot of good from there. And unfortunately from Donut, a long way from the pit lane as well. Damn. Yeah, that's not great. So if the plan was indeed for Donut to go and cause problems for Ryan and unlap himself, I think that plan has just fallen out of the window. So Finn's going to have to close this gap the old-fashioned way, simply by driving more quickly. Strategical genius like that, you wonder why no one's hired me yet. Unfortunately, much like Donut, he's catching a snap of oversteer there, or certainly some sort of off-track problem. And that hands a massive advantage to Ryan. So the pressure really off Ryan for now. He doesn't need to push or do anything too fancy, as Donut has in fact made it back to the pits. Ryan's just going to keep it clean and consistent now. So the top three, almost unrecognisable from the start of the race. Runelink, was it Runelink Donut Ryan or Runelink Ryan Donut? Either way, one of them still in the top three, and that's Ryan, who's moving himself up to first. We've lost Runelink, some sort of technical issue, and some sort of skill issue afflicting Donut, leaving him currently last on the road. So Ryan perhaps easing off slightly now with 20 laps to go. It's a bit off of his personal best, but the tyres have got 16 laps in them now, so that's not too surprising, I suppose. Not far off this time, though. Only a tenth off as the first sector, so that's good. So I think this is going to be status quo for a little while until possibly pit stops or errors jumble the order up once more. So I can look at some of the other drivers at least. Get a little bit of team screen time even to Carlos, who's got a minute and 10 seconds pretty much on Donut behind, and that gap is closing. And 20 seconds, 21 seconds to Faffy ahead. Faffy having a bad lap last time around, some sort of mistake that I haven't seen, and Finn is into the pits. I hope this is a planned stop rather than a mistake. He's in the pits. Diogo Braga not showing any signs of not showing any signs of something. I'm not sure what. It's not a rally car, mate. Anyway, Finn out of the pits. Diogo Braga 7 seconds behind. So that's good for Finn at least. After having a bit of a bad lap there. Another slow lap, so he's getting caught by about 5 seconds a lap by Carlos at the moment. That should put him within striking distance in about 3 or 4 laps time at this rate. Donut though, currently lapping fastest of everyone. Previous lap from Donut, 1:28.9. No one else below 1:30. So Donut really flying. Could have had race-winning pace. Unfortunately, he didn't have race-winning consistency. Oh well. So that Diogo Braga coming into the pits this time. Was what we saw last lap a case of missing the pit entrance? Could have been. So if Diogo Braga's in the pits, Faffy might be in a position to jump. Diogo Braga here. Although Diego is starting to move again, so I don't think that's going to be the case. No, it isn't. Diogo Braga back out on track, well clear of Faffy. So still a decent sized gap there. So I think Ryan quite sensibly had backed off, but is coming into the pits now. Doesn't seem to know where the pit limit line is, but he's made it in safely. Better safe than sorry. So coming in for a tyre change. Unfortunately, there don't appear to be rims in the left-hand side tyres, and he's overshot the box. That's a bummer. Now I think he'll be okay because he did have a decent-sized gap over Finn. But that's a quick tyre change. Just a slow pit stop from Ryan with a mistake made there. And yep, still out well clear of Findick, so no problems there. So that is your top 3 have all pitted now. I don't know if they think they're not allowed to pit 2 cars on the same lap or something, but they're all coming a lap apart at the moment. Let's see. Faffy going to stay out, or is Faffy coming in this time? Faffy coming in now as well. Okay. So Carlos possibly will jump Faffy. Closer than Faffy was to Diego Braga. Carlos is staying out as well. So Faffy made it to his box as Carlos has rounded the last corner, and Faffy's still stationary, so that is a position to Carlos for now. Carlos not pitted yet for tyres as far as I know, and I'm not expecting Donut in the pits soon, as I suspect he'll have changed his tyres when he went in to get a new front wing put on. Who needs a front wing anyway, hey? all of them, I think, which is very unfortunate for those who had a crash and lost theirs. So Carlos may be sliding around a little bit, possibly wishing he'd come in a lap earlier. Maybe he'll be in this time around. Good lap from Finn Dicked out of the pits as well, dipping below the 130s. Still the time to beat being set by Donut, low 28s. Carlos though still managing to be very, very close to his personal best despite being on used tyres. Not coming in this time either. Visually they appear to be softs, but I can't say for sure if they are in fact soft compound. Yeah, I don't think Carlos has stopped yet. So the gap between Ryan and Finn appears to have stabilised at around the 10-11 second mark. Been a little quicker on the last lap around. Donut still doing 28.2s. Go on. Diego Braga down to the low 130s as well. And Carlos finally making a pit stop. Those poor tyres. So we're going to see Pappy jumping Carlos here, presumably. Indeed he is. So I think that's probably the first tyre changes for everyone done now. Possibly a mistake. The previous lap around for Ryan. I'm doing a 131. So allow Finn Dick to close up a little bit. Still about 10 seconds back. Donut again managing to do a 128.2, so consistency appears to be there now. Just a shame he's already made a big mistake and lost his front wing. Otherwise, I think he'd have race-winning pace as it currently stands. That is with us having lost 5 drivers, of course. Real shame for them guys. So let's see if Ryan's managed a more consistent lap this time around. A little bit better. 130.8. But Finn is catching now. Finn doing a 129.6. So it's a 1.2 second swing in favour of Finn Dick here. Ryan possibly losing a little bit of concentration, or the tyres aren't quite right. I think we've got a car off the track. That would be the Carlos AlphaTauri, who's just rejoined safely behind Finn. That does mean the gap between Donut and Carlos has closed down now to just 11 seconds. Carlos doing a well, it'd be a quick lap for a GT3 car, but this isn't a GT3 car. So 1:52.6, not great. Clearly some sort of mistake on that one. So the advantage of pace to have swung in favour of Findick. Ryan now losing time. Another fairly slow lap of 1:31.5. Findick putting in another decent lap, 1:29.9. So again, about a second and a half swing in favour of Finn. Small lap again from Carlos, possibly with damage. Donut now only 8.4 seconds back. I think we could see a change of position within the next few laps between Donut and Carlos. Two-thirds of the way into the race now on lap 24. Advantage definitely appears to be with Findick here. Improving on his personal best and closing that gap down from 11 seconds to Ryan, now to only about 4 seconds. See if we can watch on board with Ryan in. Maybe try and find out why he's struggling. Looks okay so far. Not spotting anything obviously wrong. That looks a little bit wide. Well, he's just about found an apex. Getting 1:31.1 again. It's not a great lap. Then behind doing a 1:28.8. So definitely the momentum in this gap falling away from Ryan now. So we've got just 11 laps to go. So Finn now can see Ryan ahead of him. A little speck in the distance. But crucially, that speck is getting bigger, not smaller. So whereas earlier Finn appeared to have no answer to the pace from Ryan, it's gone the other way now, and it's Ryan being chased down. Ryan crucially having track position, so we'll see perhaps if there's some setup advantage in Finn's favour that he can use to move himself ahead. Also, the AlphaTauri in the background, not trying to get third. He is in fifth, but currently doing a pretty respectable job of hanging on to the back of Finn. Carlos actually doing a 1:27.4 last time around. That is a pretty damn quick lap. That actually pushes the gap to Donut out rather than Donut catching. He's gone almost an entire second quicker. So Carlos perhaps finding his feet now, getting into the rhythm of things. We've got another lap completed and another second advantage gained for Finn. He's just within that 1 second window right about now. So definitely going to be benefiting from a slipstream, but also getting hurt by dirty air. And it seems like from clips we've seen earlier, dirty air is affecting these cars pretty badly. So we obviously not as bad as the previous generation of F1 car, but remember it was when Donut got in the dirty air that he had issues, and he's not the only one. So, hoping Finn can keep it clean here. Nice run through Meggett and Beckett on the power nicely. You see who got the better exit, and it seems like initially it was Ryan, but slipstream pulling him in. Ah, no, unfortunately there's contact there between Ryan and Finn. Luckily, neither of them seems to have taken too much damage, at least visually. They seem to have gotten away with it. If that has caused any damage, Ryan's going to feel it at the back with oversteer, and Finn's going to feel it at the front with understeer. I know which problem I'd rather have right now. But if Ryan hadn't noticed Finn was there already, definitely has now. And again, Finn getting very, very close on the way into the corner. Ryan appearing to get the better drive off, but he's feeling the need to go defensive. As Finn dives down the inside, gives him a... forgotten the word now. Hip and shoulder. Nice and off the track, and that is Finn through to the lead. So brilliant change for position there. With 8 laps to go. Be hoping for Finn's sake that he can avoid any mistakes and hang on to that. But I'm sure Ryan will do his very best to respond. Obviously Ryan now is going to benefit from the tow. You see that gap already coming down. Not within striking distance though. Talking about striking distance as well. You might have spotted in the background, perhaps a little bit before me. Ryan coming to the pits. Another stop for Ryan. Interesting. So Diego Braga unlikely to get that position. He's a bit too far back. So Ryan, I think we'll hang on to second. Possibly his tyres are gone. But Donut here, still closing that gap down to Carlos ahead. Judging from the body language from that car, it seems like Donut's tyres might also be going as well. And I'm hearing Ryan's tyres weren't changed at the last stop, so he was on old softs, hence the pace difference between him and Finn. So he'd done well to do 2/3 of the race on old softs. Thank you for that. But unfortunately, he has lost that position and then probably pitted to take some fresh ones. And I would say that's probably a good decision. He was able to do that without losing a position to Diego Braga. So, and Carlos now only 2 seconds ahead of Donut. With about 7 laps to go, and I think I see Findich going for the pit lane as well. Interesting. So Finn perhaps feeling vulnerable on his old tyres as well. Going in to get some new ones, or perhaps wants to deny fastest lap points to Ryan, but that could be close on the exit here. Finn moving, Ryan going a lot quicker. But I think Finn is going to get out ahead and stay ahead. Indeed he is. So slightly colder, lower pressure tyres for Finn right now. Ryan with a tyre temperature advantage, but a 1 lap tyre wear disadvantage. It's going to be marginal, but it will be there. So while we've got one good battle going on, we've got two. I like buses here. We've got none for a while, and then we get two at once. There's Donut here looking for a move on Carlos ahead. Wide of the apex there at Maggots and Beckett's, and Donut going to have a better run. He's gone to the outside, but he is ahead. Is he going to be ahead before the corner? Yes. So Donut moves ahead of Carlos into 5th position, as the gap between Ryan and Finn appears to expand rather than contract. But got 6 laps to do something about it. I would have to say from that gap that Finn does appear to have his tyres switched on by now. I would expect both of these drivers have now taken fresh softs, and I think this time Ryan's tyres have been changed successfully, at least given his pace. Doing a 1:29.5 last lap around, that is a good time. So the gap around 4 seconds. I don't think 1 lap fresher tyres is going to make any meaningful difference. But if it is going to, it'll be later on in this race, possibly on the final lap. But I'm not expecting it to make a difference. Not 1 lap. Considering Ryan's managed to do, what, 25 laps on them? I don't think 8 laps is going to be enough to see any significant difference. So if the factor previously between Ryan and Finn's pace difference was in fact all down to Ryan's used soft tyres, then we'd have to assume it's pace advantage Ryan again rather than Finn. You can see that gap closing slowly. A few tenths here, a few tenths there. It's going to need to be more than that if he wants to close this gap before the end of the race. But Finn pressing on, obviously, a 1:28.0. And Ryan closing 3 tenths with a 1:27.7. I believe that's the fastest lap we've seen so far. And Ryan just now bringing that gap under 3 seconds as he's 4 tenths up. This is going to be a very exciting finale, I suspect. So Ryan's got a slightly V'd off line, whereas Finn, from what we saw earlier, hugging the apex a little bit more. A little bit down to driver preference, habits and setup differences, but we'll see who is getting the advantage. As Ryan really pushing here, off-track excursion, but he's kept it pointing the right way and is 1.2 seconds up. He is on for a 1:26.5 here. That is a phenomenal lap, really pushing that gap down to 1.5 seconds. So unfortunately here in the Haas team has run out of spare parts. That is very unfortunate, but right now all eyes are on this battle between Finn and Ryan. We have got 3 laps to go and 1.5 seconds separating the pair of them. So, just glancing at the standings if I can. Finn currently on 17 points. I'm just looking for Ryan on the list as well. Ryan on only 3 points with 2 DNFs and an 11th, so not massively meaningful in standing positions right now, but this is going to make a difference for Ryan. It'll bring him a lot further up the grid. So I believe it's 15 points for first place, which are currently going to Finn, which will put him on 32, tied with Triple L. Still behind Donuts. I think Donuts going to leave this race still as a championship leader. There's neither Triple L or Rinlick scoring points this round. Neither is Nienhuis, and Fafi, who's 18 points behind, is only 1 position ahead. So the gap now less than a second between the pair of them. Ryan can see the carrot that he's chasing here, metaphorically speaking. Finn, obviously not actually a carrot. 2 laps to go. There's going to be no holds barred here. Ryan perhaps overdriving a little bit and down on his best lap this time around. Look as Finn hugging that apex, hugging the inside of the corner a little bit more. Ryan allowing his car to run out wide, V'ing the corner off, and I suspect that's going to give Ryan a slightly better exit. But yeah, gonna not help through this corner. Got to be careful of track limits that look just within. Expecting him to lose time here through the high-speed Maggots and Beckett's in the dirty air. He is half a second behind, and that looks like a much better exit for Ryan. Finn feeling the need to defend the inside there. Ryan being shot on the outside, but the move's not there. Finn managing to hold the apex, and they nearly touch again. They nearly touch. Ryan looking to the outside of the chicane. He's kept his node ahead. No contact, but yeah. Finn getting a better exit and holding on to that position for just a little bit longer. Oh, this is fascinating stuff as we are on to the penultimate lap now. This 1 more to go, and these two are inseparable. Ryan getting a poor exit there, it seems. But the benefit of slipstream pulling him closer. Not close enough that time though, as Finn doesn't feel the need to defend. Going to see this slightly more V'd offline from Ryan again, hopefully giving him a better exit. Using all of the available track to him there. And he is within 3 tenths now. This is going to be tense. Finn slightly defending there. This is superb stuff. Being shot on the outside on the way into Maggots and Beckett's. Finn staying ahead for now. Ryan seriously pushing. Again running off the track. He's really got to be careful there. It'll be so easy to drop the car. And that is not going to give him a good exit. But the tow bringing him closer once more. Finn in a bit hot there, but kept it within track limits. No need to defend this time into the chicane. Don't in the pits. Don't have time to worry about that. Again, only 3 tenths between them as we come on to the final lap. If Ryan's going to do it, it needs to be now. He is running out of time and opportunities as he looks up the inside, given the space, but Finn's still ahead, cuts him off into the next corner. Looks like he's gone deep on Ryan, looking for a better exit. Not able to get it exactly there. Finn going defensive. I think Ryan's going to have to run here, but he's going to be shown the outside, which will turn into the inside for the next corner, and he's ahead. He is through. Ryan has gotten through ahead of Finn Dixon. Finn is going to have to respond immediately. It was only about half a lap to go now. Ryan seems to have the advantage, so if there's a slight mistake, Finn's going to have to pounce on that straight away. Needs to try and stay within the slipstream here to stand a chance if we get towards the end of the lap, but doesn't look like he's quite able to do it. Ryan able to stay on the track this time around. Now the toe working in Finn's favour. Pulling him closer, but not close enough. He needs a perfect run through here, but it's deep. And I think that's it. I think that is the last opportunity for Finn gone, barring a bad exit for Ryan. And it's going to be a spectacular last lap move to bring Ryan a stunning victory. Wow, Finn dicked in second. Believe that's done up. Wingless crossing the line. Got Diogo Braga now coming home for a fairly comfortable looking third place. Wow. That that was an exciting last few laps. Wow. Right, we will try and get some interviews for you. Stand by, and I will try to organise those. Okay. So we will wait to see if we can get some of them in for interviews, and I believe we can. So let me see. Joined now by Ryan from a stunning victory. Congratulations, Ryan.
Cheers.
That looked like a fantastic battle between the pair of you. Dynamic swinging between advantage to you in the first third of the race, and then Finn back towards you at the very end of the race, and a last lap pass to secure the win there. How was that for you? Was that tense?
It was pretty terrifying, honestly. Finn was a very good spot because earlier in the race, my first pit stop, so I did two. My
Yep.
first pit stop, the tyres just didn't change. So I had a 12-second gap, and the tyres were literally had like zero left. Like there was literally no tyre left.
Right.
So that's why Finn was getting, I think, a second, 2 seconds at the end. Like it was undrivable. So
Mhm.
I eventually pitted once he overtook me because might as well get the fastest lap. Had a nice
Yeah.
gap, and Finn felt a bit bad, and he was a good sport, and he decided to pit as well. One because his tires were a bit dying, he did say, but also for a good battle as well, makes it interesting. So he pitted. I was slow, so I didn't undercut him because that would have just been a bit rude, and we had a good race afterwards.
That was a
Finn,
fantastic race. Yeah. So the advantage area was pace, and then the disadvantage for you was tires. Is that right?
Not really. My tires were lasting how long I wanted to, because like your game is pit lap 18 halfway. My tires were good then. I was happy with my pace. I was the front of Finn still. Just when I
Mhm.
did pit, they didn't change tires, so I just
Yeah.
had to do 36 laps in them. And at that point, it's just not doable, really. Like because
Very
in the softs was
unfortunate.
struggling to do about 10 laps. 36 is just unreasonable.
Yeah,
Main
and I
problem.
saw in that final sort of few laps a little bit of contact between yourself and Finn as well. Just tell me what your perspective on that was.
What's the con? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel any contact with Finn.
Slightly
Any point.
rear-ended. I can't remember where
Oh
exactly it was on
yeah,
track.
when he rear-ended me.
Mm.
That was just Finn was in the groove, and because of how slow I was because of my tires, he just it was like a good 2 gears like difference in that corner, so he just hit me.
Ah, I
Luckily, no
see.
one got any damage, which is lucky because realistically, that probably should have took my rear wing off.
Yep,
But I was lucky and no harm done, so no happy things really.
excellent. So that's a good result for you from 11th with fastest lap in the first round and 2 DNFs. That's
It didn't happen much for them.
15 points to you, which should, I think, possibly put you within the top five, but that'll depend on other people's results. But a really strong day in the office for you and moving you a lot further up the grid.
Got my
Uh,
home race.
yeah,
Yeah,
excellent.
Basically, Lewis Hamilton
Brilliant. Well,
without the murder.
it
Anyway.
had been brilliant. But yeah, we'll leave it then. We'll try and get Finn in as well because I don't want to be spending too long here. We are on a bit of a timer, so we will thank you once again for a fantastic race and congratulations on the win. That was very exciting, especially at the finale there.
Yeah, thanks for commentating too.
Thank you. See you soon. So that was Ryan there being interviewed, and we are going to try and get Finn in as well for an interview. So Finn coming second there, right behind Ryan. Hello, Finn. Congratulations on second place.
Thank you and hello.
That looked like a very tense battle between the pair of you, especially in the last sort of 10 laps or so. How was that for you from the cockpit?
Well, the full race review is just the start was exactly as I planned. I just tried to stay clean, keep my nose out of trouble, and just do my pace, get on my rhythm, and try to save the tires. That's what I was doing, and it was working really well. Even catching Ryan by the end, he made more mistakes than me. But at some point, my rears were completely undrivable, so I decided to box at lap 16 instead of planned 18, and then I just tried to do the same thing for the next stint. Um, and then the next, yeah, that stint after Ryan boxed, we heard we were communicating. He said, they haven't changed my tires, so it was going to be extremely slow, and I caught up. And then at the end, I was like, we're gonna make a race out of it. I'm just gonna box, and we'll see what happens. And then I sped into the pit lane like an idiot.
Whoops.
So I was gonna lose anyway, but I was like, we're gonna like battle on track anyway. I'm gonna try to keep first place, but he had so much space, so he deserved the win, and he got it in the end.
Excellent. So I did see a little bit of contact there in the second stint between yourself and Ryan. A little bit of a misjudgment into a braking zone, perhaps. Just tell us what happened there.
Yeah. What was happening is like until that race, it was a little bit uneventful. Like I let down past one time, and there was a little bit of battling of Ryan, but overall it was just trying to do my pace, and I was completely in autopilot, just doing my rhythm. So in that point, I went slightly earlier on the brakes, but I forgot to look. It was the problem. But
Ah,
there was no damage, so we decided we just carry on and pretend nothing happened.
all right, brilliant. So that's going to help your championship bid considerably with a DNF last race, but a fifth and a fourth place beforehand. It'll be 15 points to yourself, putting you on 32 level with Triple L.
The second is 12 points.
Oh, second, of course it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do apologise.
no
Uh,
worries.
so that'll be provisionally fourth, I think.
Very possible. At least
Unless
I've beaten my rival Faffy.
you have.
It's quite nice to be second as well. It's like compared to the rest of the season, this was definitely a statistically above average performance. So I'm happy with that. And well, it's a little bit of luck because Donald got crashed out, and
Yeah.
Vroomling disconnected right in front of me. He just completely disappeared.
So I
So
did just
a
want
little
to
bit luck.
touch on that as well, and I'm glad you mentioned it. So a good day for yourself in one side of that Ferrari stable, but not such a good day for your teammate. Do you have any insight into what's happened there?
Well, I've heard what's happened, but we'll have to see after the race exactly what happened. But in the end, it's gonna be a case of these cars are incredibly difficult to drive. I don't think anybody was faultless today. Um, yeah, I've had a couple of scary moments. Ryan had a couple of spins. It's such a difficult car to get to grips with, especially for like an hour of driving or 54 minutes as we've done. So, but I'm happy that six people did make it to the end and have done a decent job. And yeah,
Brilliant, and of course an extra thank you to yourself for being the organizer of the series and hosting the server. So that definitely deserves some acknowledgement, and yeah, must be rewarding to manage to get a podium position in the series after all the hard work you've put in.
yeah, it's quite nice to finally have a position on the podium. So I'll release that and be happy with it.
Excellent. Congratulations then. So, I will leave it there with you for now, and we'll wrap things up on this end as well. And yeah, we will catch you out. Is it a week or 2 weeks now until our next race? I don't remember.
Next week, and then after that we have a week break.
Excellent. So I will catch up with you probably in about a week's time. Thank you for your time, and congratulations once again, Vindict.
No problems, and thank you for streaming.
All right, so that was Finn finishing second place, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like we've got anyone else available for interview today. Diego Braga not able to make it, who was our final driver on the podium, and I did want to speak to Donut, as it looked like he had a fairly eventful race, but he's not available either. So we'll wrap things up there for this week, and as you heard from Finn, we are back in a week's time, this time for the Austrian Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring. We will see you there and then, hopefully. If you've enjoyed the stream today, please feel free to follow us. We do have other events in ACC as well, which will be next Saturday for the first of the endurance rounds, and a week's time for the Red Bull Ring AMS2 F1 race. Thank you to all of the drivers who've been here, and thanks to everyone who's been watching. We will leave it there for now. Thank you, and good night.